Hi, I'm Peter, Courier Driver, and this video is going to be how to minimise the damage to anything you're carrying it when you're doing your courier runs, when you're doing your deliveries. We're going to go through about 4 topics in this video. Basically, how to identify what is fragile, where to place it in the van, how to secure it in the van, and how to drive it there and minimise any damage to your goods. Before we go into it, if you like the videos, there's a few other videos on the channel. If you could please hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the notification bell, all very much appreciated. Anyway, on with it. So basically, you've got to work out what is dangerous, what is fragile. Common sense comes into this. I mean, there will be things that are going to give it away. If it says fragile on the box, chances are it's fragile, but that's no guarantee, because sometimes they stick CDs in boxes that say fragile, and sometimes they stick glasses in a box and go, there you go mate, and just expect you to get on with it. Another one to look out for is if you're doing pallets or stuff like that, if they have a little yellow triangle on top of the box or something that says do not stack, don't put anything on top of it, because that means there's something fragile on that, which means you don't want to put on top of it. And machines, if you're loading machines, and you've got to use your common sense, you've got to have a look at it. You've got to look at the top and go, well, if I throw a strap over the top of that machine, that looks a little bit fragile. Wood is another one. That little bit of wood at the top looks a little bit thin. So as I crank that strap down, there's a chance that I could do damage myself, in which case you look for somewhere lower. Is it bolted to the pallet? I can then just strap the pallet to the floor, no problem. That bit there looks a bit dodgy, but that's obviously secured by nuts. So I'm just going to go over the bottom. So you've got to assess every situation individually. Talk to the people that you're picking it up from. Is it safe to strap? Can I strap it there? Because if you can, then you know, if you talk to them and they go, I can strap it this way, and then something goes wrong, you've got some kind of comeback. So then you've got to work out where to put it. So you've got to weigh up 2 things here. You've got to weigh up the weight, and you've got to weigh up securing the load in transit. So regarding the weight, the best place to put it is near the back axles, because that's kind of balances the load out an awful lot better. Regarding movement, the best place to put it is up against the bulkhead, because if you put it up against the bulkhead, if you brake suddenly, can't go anywhere. It's up against the bulkhead. It could shift side to side depending how wide it is. The only way that's ever really going to move is either you're going uphill, or someone smacks into the back of you at great speed. And if someone smacks in the back of you at great speed, you're kind of in trouble anyway, like, you know. So the best way really is to make sure that the load is secured. And the way we make sure the load is secured, if you've got a lot of gear on board, you can use the load itself to secure it. So what we do is we load the big items first, because that way you can make sure that they can't move, they tessellate. Then you put the medium items in between the big items, and then you put the small items in between the medium items. The problem we've got with that is then you've got to find them off the other end. So this is where the circuit package finder comes in. If you've got a lot of boxes on board and you're not sure where they're going to be, it does that wonderful thing that as you put the box in, you can identify it on the app as it goes in, so you'll know where it is. If you haven't got a lot on board, then there's many different things at your disposal that you can use to strap the load. You can use normal straps, tiny ones, or you can use the 5-ton straps. We're going to do something on them. You know, I think we might have done one already, in fairness. Blankets, removal blankets, very handy if you've got things that are fragile. You've got glass, you've got wardrobes with mirrors in. Throw the blanket over the top before you put the strap on. You can use bubble wrap. You can use corners. And another one that is going to be one of your big friends, get yourself a roll of shrink wrap. We've had it before where we've turned up, one of our drivers turned up to pick up, it was a pallet of alcohol, and he was in the loot and he had to pick it up, and the way they'd stacked it, they'd stacked all the light empty boxes on the bottom and all the heavy stuff on the top. And what he should have done, he didn't, in fairness, he should have said, that's no good, we need to restack that with the heavy on the bottom and the light on the top. And as a result of which, they went to get the pallet off the other side. If we try to take it for salvage, the pallet fell over, and then there's a big to-ing and fro-in. Whose fault is it? Is it the driver's fault? Is it the people that stack it's fault? In the end, we come to some kind of agreement. The truth of the matter is, once it's on board, it's your problem. If it falls over, you've got your goods in transit insurance, but no one wants to go down that route. So you really just want to make sure that the thing is on board, strapped properly. So if you've got a pallet and the pallet's not right, what you can do a bit of jiggery pokery, knock it around yourself, get the shrink wrap nice and tight all the way around it, then you know you've got the peace of mind when you're driving that when you get to the other side, you're going to be okay. And on the subject of driving styles. I mean, we should all drive relatively safely anyway, but I find when I'm heavily loaded in mine, certain things that I will do. Firstly, I will do corners and roundabouts slower, because that's when you're trying to minimise your side-to-side movement. Look at the roundabout, leave plenty of space, try and approach it. A couple of cars in front of me, I'm going to slow down a little bit, let them clear, and then I can go around the roundabout sort of like that, rather than having to go all the way around in the outside lane. I can go outside, inside, outside. I can kind of cut the corner off a little bit. Straight lines, keep it smooth and in straight lines. That's the best way around it. Other things that I would say, increase the size of your bubble. The bubble is the distance between you to the lorry in front, or the car or a van in front, and the distance between the vehicle behind you. So if you've got a load on board and you want to make sure that you want to be extra careful about it, leave bigger gaps. That way, if the guy in front of you hits the brakes, if he slams his anchors on, you've got time to slow down gradually. The problem is, you leave a nice big gap in front of you, someone goes, oh, he's left a big gap in front of him, I'm going to overtake. Yeah. When they do, they zoom in space, ease off again. It might cost you a couple of minutes on your journey, but trust me, it's worth it for the peace of mind. I would recommend that anyway. So that's basically it. That's how to identify, how to stack it, how to strap it, and how to drive it. And at the end of the day, the main thing is preparation. Have your straps, your blankets, your corners, your shrink wrap on board. Make sure the load is kind of solid. Put it in a place you're happy. Put the straps on, or put it so you're happy, and then drive it smoothly. It's all about preparation. With all these things, it's about preparation, taking a little bit of more time. This kind of more, is it less haste, more speed? Or was the other way around? I remember that one. But just giving it a little bit of time to make sure that the load gets there safely, because then you haven't got that nightmare scenario when you open up the back doors and everything's everywhere, and like the geezer looks at you going, I ain't taking that, mate, and you're like, oh my God. That's it. So anyway, if you like the video, like I say, please, if you can, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and also there are some videos over on my YouTube channel, Peter Courier Driver, all kind of helpful videos, all there to try and help you guys get there safely, do the job, get the job done, and to help you take care and take money.